So then we had Brody and Buddy, the Hounds of Hell. Wouldn't the names of the Hounds of Hell be like fucking Satan and Beelzebub instead of Buddy and Brody?
You have a good point. The name Buddy has never worked for him. It worked for Buddy Rogers, Buddy Colt, Buddy Austin, Buddy Landell.
Buddy Landell.
It doesn't work for Buddy Matthews / Murphy.
It didn't do too good for Buddy Diamond either. And Brody King he's named Brody because he's a big guy with long dark hair and probably at one point had a beard and a woof. Looks like Bruiser Brody. But God, if they're going to be instead of the House of Blech, they're the Hounds of Hell. Can we get a full paint job? And they wrestled Fletcher and Takeshita. And again, who are the heels? But the fans have nominally decided that the Hounds were the baby faces here. But you've got your choice of the baby faces are the people from hell or the henchmen of the evil manager. And I'm thinking, why beat the Hounds of Hell in their first TV match? The leader of their failed former group bailed on the company, and they do videos to say that they're repackaged and carrying on, and they come in and lose the first time that you see them as a team again on the main television program. Help me.
There is no explanation for this. They're a team that, I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about this in a moment, but they are a team that needs more wins because they've had no wins. And they need tag teams. Fletcher and Takeshita, I brought up makeshift tag teams before. I mean, they're part of the Callis family, but they're both singles wrestlers. One's a singles champion, and they're having a tag team match in Australia, but beyond that, they're not a regular tag team. I mean, it's not Triple H beating the tag team champions on Raw or whatever they used to do. But still, if one tag team's a priority, why beat them right now, right away by a team that's going away after that match? Or they're not going to be a steady tag team.
Well, the match was an indie tag match, but there's talent here. If it was being booked and produced properly with clear direction in both of those things, clearly defined roles, personalities that click. So random observations real quick, and then we'll get to the fucking mess it all turned into. I think Buddy, again, is one of the 4 or 5 best in-ring guys in the company for athletic performance and execution. And his physically looks fantastic. He's got that fucking caveman aggression type face. Kyle is close. He needs to pick a good look and stick with it. I think they fucked up when they shaved his head. At least with that mop of blonde hair, he stood out. Our boy Take there, I don't know. He looked cooler a year ago in the black trench coat and the sunglasses, and he was doing some things, and now he's here, he's gone, he hadn't developed. Brody King wasn't even bad here, and he looks like he's trying to get a tan. And, the fans liked the match, but finally Brody gave Buddy a blasé, nonchalant, cold tag, and Buddy made a great comeback, and fans got with it. And Buddy hit a flip dive over the top on both of them, and then hit the Meteora on Kyle, which looked incredible, even in slow motion. And the people were chanting, "This is awesome." But then the problem was, here they continued to go. Because the problem now is both Brody and Takeshita weren't even visible in and around the ring forever. Like they had been taken out by hidden guerrilla warfare in the jungle. And Buddy goes to the top, and Take comes up to the apron, and Buddy kicks him back off, but they play Okada's music on the screen, which distracts Buddy, but Okada doesn't come out, and then Kyle stopped him, but Buddy came out of it. That spot killed the momentum, confused the people. It was stupid. It hurt the fucking match. Then Buddy tags Brody back in. They had it going with Matthews' comeback. But they got to get fancy, and they're throwing a bunch of bells and whistles, and they lost it. And then they double teamed Kyle, but Take saved him by doing a missile drop kick on Buddy, but landing flat of his back on Brody's back while he was covering Kyle, so he killed his own partner. Because that was the guy underneath all that shit. And it looked stiff, too. And then they did some goofy stuff on the apron and some false finishes back and forth. And finally, the heels double teamed Brody and gave him a double brainbuster. 1, 2, 3. If they'd have done Buddy's comeback, tag Brody in and just do what double brainbuster, whatever, 3 minutes before that, they might have blown the roof off the fucking place. What'd you think?
I've liked Brody King a little more than you, and Buddy Matthews is really good. That's undeniable. And I really like Fletcher and Takeshita. I thought it was good. I thought it was misbooked. You know, I'm not trying to take anything away from the wrestlers except for maybe, unless Tony told them, hey, don't go to the finish there. Wait a while, and then go to it over here. You know, that's the wrestler's fault. But other than that, I think everyone's good. The problem is, how does it help the Hounds of Hell, who you're now reestablishing as a new thing? They got a promo video. This is their match. They lose. And then right away, Buddy's getting a match against Okada. You think he's going to win that? You think Okada's going to lose to Buddy? So, I mean, it doesn't really help these two guys who, you know, I'm not saying they're the most marketable guys in the world, but I think they're a whole lot more marketable than a lot of other people there. There's a lot of people on this show that belong on Collision. I mean that as an insult. And then there's a lot of stuff that's been on Collision that should be on this show. These guys are ready to be repackaged as the Hounds of Hell and do something. They immediately lose. So, I don't know what to say. It was a good match. That was, like, baffling from a booking perspective, so it's hard to ignore that.
Why do you build me up, buttercup baby, just to bury me and beat me some more?